Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Hybrid Racing, round 12 of the season. We're at Portimao, Portugal, where we will be doing a short qualifying session followed by a 50% race. I'm just gonna get myself onto the streamer set. So, as you can see, as it stands right now, we've got 16 on the grid. Not sure if there's any more joining in during qualifying. We'll see. Back to Portugal. Not on the real calendar, in for real life this season, but they put it back into the game. It was in 21, so I think we're all pretty used to it, to be honest. I don't think anybody would have forgotten it just yet. Just gonna get my phone on to charge a second, because it's down at about 3% or something, so I'll leave that on for qualifying and I can always grab it back for the race. Ow! Sorry. Just found my dad's foot over with the coffee table. Right. Here we are then, so it's Slick Willy. So we'll go with, see what sort of time we can put on the board. Oh, I've just realised I haven't shared it all yet. Hang on, let me do that. So, tonight, start commentating at 5 PM on the kids' races for ARC. And then I had qualifying 50% race at 6. Both of those overran more than they should have done. Hence why I'm a little late getting on for hybrid. Hopefully not missed any. More share to do. There we are, that's all the sharing done. So shared around a few of my other leagues as well as into for people to see. So Slick Willy then going around to end set. So he's on 54.4 at this point. Let's see. It's in set. And Slick Willy then around the final corner heads and he gets us underway with a 120.2. Junkie Emperor on his way round. As I say, with Portimao, 118.8 from Junkie Emperor. Yeah, as I say with Portimao, it's just been added to the game this year, so I don't think people are going to be 100% perfect on it yet. Liz more into 118.7. The Gooner went fastest 118.5. Oh, who's this? This is Carton King. Across the line. 119.3. Puts him into P4. Who's that? Oh, that's an invalidation. Well, to the final corner now. Will pick Sons to do a hilly hop lap at one point, but not just yet. So 26.7. So clearly that wasn't a lap from Whoopi or Zertnik. I've got a feeling he told me I can't remember what it was. I told him I might forget because I do a lot of comms. Just doing a lap. Who's McLaren? That's Lismore. So they're all on in laps. He knows not. Well, Chris is invalidated for Lung. No, he's on a lap. It's quite early on in the lap at the moment. But you may have joined since I said it. I put qualifying, so I'm not going to see any comments until I pick it up at the end of the okay. But it was on about 3%, and I went for the race. So anyway, for longest spin, it's the end of that attempt. To Whoopi's invalidated. Slick Willy proved through set 1, but something's happened off track. Cool right-hander. In that, I think Sam. Okay, so I think he's close to the finishing line for this lap. We're on hot laps. There's one of the other driver we were expecting has just joined. So he should be able to jump in whatever car he's been assigned. So that should bump us at some point. Somebody was on a lap then. I missed it. Who was that? Martin. Oh no. I have absolutely no idea. Rick Jr. actually, I think, is his teammate. And there's Chris. 1:18.5 goes fastest so far. Thousandths of a second. Sam has invalidated. Small loss on an outlap. So I don't think. Unless Verlungus is doing another lap for B, actually. So stick with him. It's 1:19. That's good enough for P6 at the moment. So I think we'll be seeing a lot of improving as we get more and more laps in. So Junkie start the lap. Stick with Junkie for now. Let's see how he's doing through sector 2. We have 1:18.8 at the moment. A bit of lag on my screen, which would put him fastest if we could keep it up. Final sector, the easiest of the 3 sectors, around Portimao. '18, could he get into 17s? Not quite, so when I still fastest by nearly 4 attempts. Very nice indeed. And there's Rick Jr. He's still quite early on his outlap. Sam, he's even earlier actually. I think what we'll do then is actually, I believe, his first race. And he's one of our crossplay guys on PC. So let's go to Rick Jr. Sound like though not using any ABS. Yeah, let's do our hilly hot lap with our new guy. So obviously, just flat, take as much power as you can. Don't forget to gear up to 8th as Jewish Boy joins again. Has got a car, so we're down to turn to 5th. Very difficult. You've got to be careful. You can't use the inside simple one. It's locked up into turn 3. Sorry, it's lag on my screen, so it's a bit different. 4, you've got to be very careful. You've got to be through as you can. Be careful. Traction's low. 6, late braking, all about being able to straighten the wheel up and on the power. We're coming to the right hander. It's kind of like a double right. First part is just a lift, and then brake down heavy. Again, traction very low. Well, he's lucky that's not knocked him out of the race. Out of the end of that attempt. Sam then. Right, so Sam then. We're not too far away from where we're right-hander now. Also, his car's not lagging around so bad, so I don't know for the other guys on track if Rick's car's lagging about like that. It's cross-play, so I think for me spectating it's a bit bad. A bit of another, you can use the inside curve, come round through the left, just flat out through there. Heavy braking into the left. Get over to the left-hand side of the track, ready for the right. Go down to third or fourth. All about getting on the power because you will not touch the brakes a lap as best you can. And send it to the line, and Sam chips there, putting it into P10 on a 19 flat. Validated. Oh, I think I've been. It's good, isn't it? I think it might be crossplay issues, but I'm not entirely sure. So it's running at the strongest it can, so I guess on my end in a way. So I'm not surprised. It was lagging around quite badly on the screen, so I'm not too surprised. Just communicating with online services, and then I'll be back. Oh, come on. Cool. Once we're in the lobby, gotta make Y, not A. If I press A, and end up giving me a car for the race. So, make sure I press 8. Otherwise you'll end up with a commentator in a race. Nobody wants that. So here we go. There we are. We're back. Whoopee. That. Right. Details back up again. I lost them all. So, Jewish boy on an outlap. It could have been to do with Jewish boy joining, actually. That can cause some issues like that sometimes. Hopefully it doesn't happen again in a way. Off. Does that so? Small loss 3.5 temps up then. Oh, it's Jewish boy leaves the session again. So actually invite this guy in. See if that helps him. Still lagging around a good one. So anyway, 14 on a 120 points. Pretty significantly. Stakuna goes fastest, he's into the 117.5. Small loss of an 8/10 improvement, that puts him up to P13. Junior then is lagging around like mad at the moment. I have checked all my devices, got nothing else connected. So Rick Junior heads to the line, and it's a 119 flat, just over a quarter of a second. Puts him into P10. Now separating them. Small loss with center as well, just over a quarter of a second up. So this is sending him into P7. Ever so slight improvement. So goes for the line. Even he does go P6. It's off of Chris as well. P5. Controller batteries are low. Anything else want to happen? Right. Okay, sorry about that. Controller batteries changed, that won't happen again. Gunnar has retired out. Chipster, he's just started a lap. Let's see if we can get somebody a bit closer to finish line. Hunter not on a lap. Chris On an 18.5. Head to the line. And 18.2. Right, there we go. 18.2 puts him into P4. That one, my controller just disconnected, by the way. No apparent reason for it. Who else we got going? Volungis. Coming up towards the end of Sector 2. He's improving, almost 2 temps up. Well, 2 temps would see him just move up to one place to P11. But doesn't need a much bigger improvement to get into P10. Here he comes for the line. 118.5. He improves by a lot more. Up into P6. I can only assume he must have made a mistake in the final sector previously. It's KK. Not improving through sector 2. Head to the line. Oh, doesn't quite improve. 9 thousandths of a second down on his PB. Hunter not improving. That was Chips having a spin. So I think, yeah, indeed, that is it. So Hunter into the pits. Chip spun. So he's going to be into the pits as well. So the Gooner takes pole position once again. Man's on fire on a Sunday. Whoopi with P2, Junkie Emperor P3, Carton King P4 is the usual suspects, Chris P5, very close to the top guys as well, Volungis P6, at the death there, Hunter P7, Sam P8, Chips 9, Lismore 10, again I've forgotten how to say his name, so I think he might have said that he just likes to be called 11, so I'll just call him 11 in P11, funny enough. I'll just confirm the rest of the grid when they all come up. So, Rick Jr. in P12, Slick Willie 13, Small Loss 14, Twiglet 15, Jewish Boys 16, Fate of Defiance 17 after the early crash. But that might work out for Fatal. It's I think the first sector area could be a bit dodgy, so could actually starting at the back may not be the worst thing in the world, to be quite honest. Let's have a quick gander through the incidents. It's nothing major there. It's DNF and Fatal, but I don't think there's anything there that the stewards will need. So I'm just going to grab a coffee and hope that it stops lagging about while I'm gone. See you in a bit. So the countdown has begun for the race. I've got my phone back now in case anybody wants to make any comments. Oh, there's no formation lap on. So this is to go. He's got everything right. So Gunnar gets away then. Whoopi falls in behind. Don't know if anybody got any practicing in this weather. We're at the start at the front. Small loss suddenly up 7 places. Wow, what a start from him. There's all sorts going on. Fatal up 6. Hunter's dropped right down to the back. Must have had a spin. And Whoopi gets ahead of the Gunnar, takes the lead. Gunnar getting back ahead, tussling away these two. This time it looks like the Gunnar's got that. Oh, Junkie gets a little bit out of shape. Keeps it going, doesn't lose it. Apologise for the troubles during qualifying. Didn't obviously get to do a hot lap because of that. All the more exciting for you next week when you get to do one. As the Gunnar sets fastest lap, of course. Just little signs he's starting to create a little bit of a gap. Just a position change further down. The 2 Alpines switch places. Junior getting ahead of Jewish Boy. And Chris up ahead of Lismore. Sector 1. There's a shout out going on in the chat. Should be driving, not chatting. Switch of positions going on. A little battle going on here between Smallhouse and 11. Looks like 11's come out on top of that one. So there's your stop strategy. Expecting intermediates. 1 stop to a new set of intermediates. That obviously completely depends on the rain. He's with us, Willie. Okay. You see the tyre tracks that they're creating through the water disappearing very quickly. So it tells us we're not drying up any time soon. So the front 2 just gone away from Junkie a little bit, but still absolutely within touching distance of them. Bit of Volungus who's on the back of Carton King here. Obviously, with it being wet weather, we're not going to see any DRS unless it dries up. Could make overtaking difficult as there's a move going on there. Now it's chips and 11. Like it might have been a little bit of a dive, but didn't catch it properly, so I won't comment any further on that one. Jewish boy has joined. Clearly having connection issues. Jewish boy. Not sure what that's all about. Well, let's go to Volungus then. Gunnar takes the fastest lap this time. So him and Whoopi exchanging fastest laps at the moment. Oh, Whoopi picks up an early penalty. That's not going to help in the whole scheme of things. Forward with Lungus as he looks to try and follow Curtin King as close as he can. So Slip Willie and Hunter are having a... Oh, Slip Willie's... Oh, he's retired on track. I don't know how many times it needs to be said. If you're not having a good race or things aren't happening right for you and you just can't be bothered to continue, at least drive round to the pits. It's not hard to ask, is it? Not a lot to ask. So, battle continues in a way. Volungus on the back of Curtin King, saying these conditions it is difficult to get a move with no DRS. You've obviously got your energy to help you. They're on about pretty much the same at the moment, pretty similar. Be careful turning your energy on that early though. It seems to have worked. He's got to run. And Volungus, by being a bit brave with the energy on the exit from the final corner, got the run on Curtin King is up into P4. So a fine overtake there from Volungus. Just make sure he consolidates it down to the left-hander. Just had a yellow flag. I think it was Rick Jr. I'm not 100% sure, but I think it was. But he's definitely going again. Absolutely fine, gone past the pits. So, oh, I'll say that. I think he's had another moment at turn 2 or 3. More likely the moment probably happened in turn 1 and continued on to the next turns. But once again, he's up and running. Just needs to be a bit careful on the tyres while they get back to their normal temperature. Becky, best track in the world. You would say that, lad. Thanks for joining, man. Always nice to hear from my teammate. So, just got a little bit of a train happening here. Small loss leading it in P8. Fatal P9. Sam in 10. Lismore and McLaren in 11. With Williams and Chris not very far behind as well. And Fatal having a look. It's definitely alongside now. It's going to be about who gets the better exit. Probably out of this corner. And it looks like Fatal's got that done. That's a very nice move from Fatal. Thinks about having a... Sorry, Smallhouse thinks about having a look back, but it's nowhere near alongside. Got to be careful. Two Astons don't want to take each other out here. Smallhouse got a penalty there for across the left-hand side. I'm not sure he gained so much of an advantage. In the end, his Aston teammate gets past. Oh, Oh, lost misses that corner as well. And has lost out to the McLaren. Oh, the McLaren seems to let him back through there, as if he'd done something wrong. He did. The Gunnar set him fast to slap. It's just pulled out just over a second now to Whoopi. Oh, but he picks up a penalty. So the two front guys are now on 3-second penalties. Look at this. There's more then on the inside of Small Loss. Up the inside into turn 1. Oh, and Small Loss is going to come under pressure from Chris as well. Does manage to defend off the Williams. But Lismore up into P10. A good move. So it's all started when Fatal made the move into turn 1 on Small Loss actually earlier on, and he's pulled out a gap. He's running well on the inters at the moment. We've just got another battle unfolding here as well. So this is Volungus in P4 in the Alpha Tauri, Carton King P5 and Chips in P6. Jewish boy leaves the session again. Oh, now they're diving in. That can only mean one thing. They are going to slicks. Okay. Well, let's get on to tyres. Well, it's early doors. Parton King's gone to hards. Little tip. Those hards will make it to the end. And I know this because I won here in Portugal in a pre-season race in another league, and I pitted to hards on lap 4, and they made it to the end. Okay, they did fall off the cliff before the end, but my gap to P2 was enough that I managed to hold them off. Funny enough, actually, that P2 that I managed to hold off was Whoopi. I'll switch to mediums here. So, Carton King is one to keep an eye on here. You can definitely get to the end, guys. I promise you that. Now then, how are these front guys looking? There's a gap between Twiglet and the Gunnar, and how's it faring? Seems to be saying pretty stable. Just starting to come down. Also, the Gunnar have been getting his tyres up to temperature in the first part of the lap, so it's just starting to come down. Be interesting to see where Junkie comes out here, you know. Let's go up to Junkie. DRS is enabled. Junkie might get the jump. This is going to be tight. Although I think the pit exit's quite far, isn't it? He's on the left, look. He's coming out the pits. The Gunnar gets through. Whoopi gets through. But, for me, I think I think Junkie maybe did the right thing staying out there. Obviously the reason he stayed out is because his teammates pitted just ahead of him, so he'd have been held up in the pits. So he definitely did the right thing, but he's also gone to hards, so it enabled him to know what the other two leaders were doing, and he's been able to go the opposite way. For me, right now, guys, for me personally, I think Junkie Emperor is favourite to win this race from here. So, where I start on the wets and finish on the slicks, or vice versa? That's a good question. I prefer races where there isn't any wets, but if I had to choose one or the other, I think I'd prefer to start on the wets and go to the slicks. What about you, Becky? Whoopi sets fastest lap of the race. He's right on the verge of getting into the 1 second to the Gooner. Amazingly, that gap almost identical to what it was before they pitted. Sorry to say, for the guys that did pit the softs, I can understand why they've gone. I mean, I can understand what they're probably thinking is they'll do a soft to medium. Bad news for them is those softs will not last very long. Well, they don't last long at any track this season, do they? But I'm afraid Portimao is one that will eat them up. As Hunter gets through against Chris. And back up to P10. Is he recovering? Had that spin right at the start, did Hunter. As Lismore, I think, managed to come into the pits and stick new intermediates on accident. He's had to pit again, so he's onto the hards. What a mistake and a maker. Mr. Gooner now takes fastest lap. They've been doing this from the start, to Gooner and Whoopi, trading fastest laps one after the other. Now Valungas is getting involved as well, as Whoopi picks up another 3 seconds. Oh, and he's round! Whoopi's round! Bit careful. Join in. Valungas gets through, so Whoopi drops to P4. He could be the case that the track maybe was still a bit damp. And Chris is back into the pits already. So he's coming for softs, he needs a new wing, that's why. Surely that's the hards that have gone on. It is, I think. Yeah, it is. So the hards have gone on. Let's move back to Whoopi then, because he's recovered it. His tyres should be back to normal temperature. And he's stayed on the back of Valungas, so... see if Whoopi can do anything about this. As you can see, the guys behind, not too far behind either. That's Carton King, mine. I reckon he's made a great shout going to the hards. Junkie and Carton King. For me, they both get podiums here. I think Junkie wins this race, but we'll see. That's Whoopi around the outside. Turn 1, 2 and 3. He's going to have the inside of turn 4. And he's got that done. See, Valungas had the DRS there. And the guys behind are really on the back of them now. Karen King just got a little bit out of shape. Had a turn 5, but didn't cost him anything, not really. And for me, this is potentially a sign that after 4 laps, the softs are already given up. Maybe not given up, but they're really worn already. They just do not last around here at all. This, I think, is one of the worst tracks for it. Chips is having a look at Carton King. Well, that's a very, very good overtake from Chips. So, oh, didn't mean to do that. Carton King got the DRS, so he's gotten back ahead. Fortunately for Chips, it was a good overtake around the outside, but Carton King getting a DRS. That yellow flag wasn't anything then. Something wrong between Fatal and Twiglet, but so I'm going to predict you're going to see these soft guys pitting them after about 7 or 8 laps. Don't think they'll go any further than that. So Carton King is almost getting into the 1 second of Valungas now. who's fallen out of the 1 second to Whoopi. I'm sticking with it though. I think Junkie Emperor wins this race. And I reckon Carton King gets a podium as long as they both stick to their guns and stay out. Even when the tyres start feeling really bad towards the end, just stick with it. We got a spinner, it's an Aston Martin, it's Sam. I won the race here in pre-season after going to hards on lap 4 because of a safety car. Whoopi did another stop, which is why I ended up with like a 20-second lead and was able to stay out on them, but he was catching me at 3 to 4 seconds a lap at the end. It looks like Sam's lost his wing. He has indeed, so it's going to require another stop. Let's go to 11. He's in the back of chips here. Oh! That was perhaps a little bit optimistic from 11. I don't think that was the best of overtakes we've ever seen. But for now, it's got him up. Oh, Whoopi's spun it. Gavin, had a great start, didn't he? Just had a tough time now. It's a long way to go in this. It is a long race actually, here at Portimao, so a long way to go yet. Chips locks up big time. So 11 well on his way. So I'm not exactly sure what happened to Carton King, but he's ended up way back. Must have had a spin or something. So maybe now that podium may be out of reach, but Whoopi is in. Ditch those tyres. He's switching to the hards to the end. He's getting rid of those mediums. Don't blame him. They weren't working for him. So on to hards. Down the order. We're just struggling a bit for a battle at the moment. Yeah, we'll be getting out way ahead of Fatal. So he comes out in P9. He's going to have a bit of work to do, but he's got 1, 2, 3, 4. There's definitely 6 drivers ahead of him that need to pit. One of those is the Gooner, so he's probably out of reach. But so that's an Aston Martin again. That's Sam again, that one. So 11's caught the back of his teammate now. So from what we've seen from 11 at the moment, he's certainly got a good pace. No doubt about that. Don't think his teammate's going to put up any real fight here. He's on soft tyres that are clearly left their best days behind them. Well, so again, I still think Junkie Emperor wins this race. The gap between him and the Gooner is gradually increasing. It's just over 8 seconds now. But we're going to be getting towards the point where the hards are going to become the better tyre around here. So it's not a quick pit stop. It feels quite quick, a pit stop around here, but it's still around about 20 seconds, 21 seconds maybe. So I think if Junkie Emperor just sticks to his guns, then he wins this race. Oh, we've lost. Small loss. Well, it seemed like it was coming. I don't know when he lost it. Oh, it's a safety car. And that is probably... I mean, it's not destroyed Junkie's strategy, but it ain't helped. Although, of course, he's going to come in and switch to mediums, whereas Taguna's going to switch to the hards. 11 stays out on mediums. That's a bit different. Not entirely sure why he stayed out there. 11. He won't get those to the end, so it's a bit of a strange choice. So, oh, my apologies. Yeah, it's small loss we lost. I was thinking it was Sam. My apologies. So no, it wasn't looking likely for a small loss. It was Sam I thought we'd lost, and was assuming because you'd had a few spins. So I assume that maybe he had some damage, but that's sort of rear wing or something that's causing it, but not the case. So, like he said, Daguna needs to increase the advantage more if he wants to win, because otherwise he will have a lot of time to recover over the softs. Yeah, it was looking that way, Meki, and his safety cars actually ruined a little bit what could have been an interesting battle. It might give us another interesting battle, of course. But for me at the moment, I'm afraid it's answers on a postcard as to why 11 has stayed out. He's on 8-lap mediums. So, is that why he stayed out? Because no, that still wouldn't make sense. He still would have been better off, even if he started on hards. Then he still would have been better off putting those hards back on than staying out on mediums. So I'm not following really what 11's done there. Fatal's done the same thing as well. So, well, whatever it is those two are thinking, we'll see later in the race if it pays off for them. Yeah, I for one am a little disappointed at his safety car because I was getting quite interested in the battle that was going to happen at the front for later on, and seeing how the strategies worked out. But having said that, it is going to bring the field right back together again. Things were separating out a bit, so I think in the long run for us as spectators, it probably works out a bit better. Bringing the cars back together. So, whoopee. I'm honestly so bad at this track. Well, it does have a lot of low traction areas, mate. Did make it quite difficult. Actually, you're another one. That safety car hasn't really helped. We're only back up. I suppose it's brought you all back together, which is ideal for you, but it meant that the pit stops that happened ahead only got you back up to 6th. Whereas if they were done under racing conditions, they would have got you further up. I'll keep that in mind for future weeks. Whoopee. Oh, Whoopee's pitted. That means we're going to have a safety car in the next couple of laps. I have to keep it in mind if we do any races together in ARC at any stage as well. If I'm riding close to you and I see you pit, I think, right, safety car in the next couple of laps will stay out. So, well, the good news is... No, it's not. I was about to say the good news is nobody's a lap down, but actually, yes, Jewish boy is, but I don't think he's with us in a way. I don't think he's been continuously in and out, so I think he's been having issues trying to connect, unfortunately. I understand he was a brand new member, so it would have been good to see him on track and how he got on. Oh, to be fair, in Arc the other night, you could have pitted any lap and you wouldn't have been far off a safety car. Baku. You should have stayed in tier 2, mate. I forgot to turn damage on. So we did Baku with no damage. Well, I didn't forget to start with. I didn't do it deliberately to start with. We had to have 2 restarts. after the qualifying. And then on the last one I forgot to turn the damage on again. So, at least everybody finished. So, safety cars in this lap. Lismore's called up. So, we're going to get moving again. So 11 will take us away from the front. We'll ride on board with Junkie. See, the ghost car is that Jewish boy who's lapped down. So we resume lap 20, meaning 14 laps remaining. Junkie's got a pretty good view there, hasn't he? He can clearly see the car go. Just be careful not to overtake this lap car before the line. There you go, you're safe now. Again, would have told him to give it back. Well, we got a battle going on. This is Chips and Volungus. Volungus and Chips. Sounds like some sort of foreign dish, doesn't it? Whoopi's getting involved with teammate now as well. So, in the end then, Whoopi does get past his teammate and he'll be looking to have a look. So, as it stands right now, 11 is starting to create a lead at the front, but he's going to have to pull out a big lead before he pits, which is unlikely. Junkie Emperor on the medium tyres. He'd be waiting for DRS to come in. He needs to get ahead of his teammate if he's going to win this race. It is Junkie's turn to win a race, there's no doubt about that. Cars have been swapping it about. Two Mercedes are fighting each other again. We'd be better off just deciding, right, you lead or you lead, but not helping each other out here because Volungus is disappearing because of it. Oh, and Chips got a bit sideways there. And just dropped down to P9. Hunter. Well, the two Red Bulls fighting now. What is it with teammates today? Hunter then does get it into P7 and he's going to get after Fatal now. And I think you'll find the mediums are starting to go. The Gooner is right on the back. So honestly, I'm not talking about the guys that have hit the fresh mediums. I'm talking about the two guys on track that are on the 12 lap mediums. I'm assuming they're looking to hold out to be able to switch to softs for a final stint. As DRS is now enabled. Lismore picks up a penalty speeding into the pit lane. Oh, and Whoopi's picked up another 3 seconds. Could end up hurting him towards the end of the race, but oh, who's that? That's Sam. Sam is round. Gets back going again. He only loses the 1 extra place to Chris, so he's back going in P10. Apologies for any viewers that have seen those messages. Just give me a second. That one's deleted. And that one's deleted. Here we go. They're gone. Oh, hang on, what did I do? Ban that one. Oh, that'd do. I'm missing the racing. Right. So at the moment, 11 and Fatal still sticking. Oh, Fatal. Spun it round out of turn 3. He's done the right thing, waited for the cars to go by before recovering to track. So back to the leaders then. So the two Ferraris still trying to chase the Alpha Tauri down and get past. Chasing him down doesn't seem a problem. It's to get him past at the moment. As I say, it's clear to see that those mediums have. Well, as I say, they've had the best days. There's absolutely no way he's getting to the end on those tyres, and Daguna then takes the lead of the race as Whoopi sets fastest lap. That's that move done, but if Junkie wants to win this race, and we don't know about the two Ferraris, they want to win this championship, so they may just nurse home a 1-2, but for me, it's Junkie's turn to win a race, definitely, at the two drivers, and he's got the tyre advantage at the moment, but he will need to get past 11 as quick as possible. The good news for him is that 11's fallen out to 1 second to Daguna. You can just see 11 is just running wide out of corners, not that one, but his previous corners to that. He has to pit. Well, maybe he's going to try and push those tyres out to the end, but alright, this is allowing for Lungus is now onto the back of them, and Whoopi is just behind that, so it's really starting to affect Junkie not being able to get past. Oh, that is an absolute lunge. Somehow he actually avoided him, but 11 was aware of it and got the cut back straight away. Fair to 11, that was very good. Further down the order, Sam making a move there and getting past Chris for P9. It'll be frustrating for Junkie because he knows he's behind a car that's got twice as old tyres on, same compound but twice as old. For some reason, when they get to this point, it's just too far back. Well, he then seems to catch up through the initial corners of the lap, and oh, he's run very wide there, so he's definitely not going to get a chance this time. It's turn 4, but sorry, turn 5. So that's hold on. It's just got to somehow manage to keep on the back of that Tauri. See the light flashing on it, so he knows He's very low on energy. So that if you see a red light flashing on the back, which you just did there, that means the Tauri has gone into less than 10% energy. Bit closer this time, but still quite a gap. Not really close enough to make a move. We have actually dropped Volungus. I'm just going to go down because I think Whoopi is having a look at Volungus into turn 1. Oh, Whoopi's caught the sausage curb on turn 2. Just spun him round. Oh, careful not to get disqualified, mate. He's back on track and going again in P8. Oh, well, we come away for that. Junkie Emperor's gotten past 11. 11's having to go back, and he ends up round. Well, when he recovers, he's in P7. Can't really comment on that one because... Okay. Yeah, I can't really comment on that one. Just the side-on view we had of it didn't tell us anything, so... It'll continue to happen. It's going to come under pressure now from every single car. His tyres are going off the cliff. Yeah, he's in. He's in. And let's enable us to see an attack here from the Williams of Chris on Sam and up into P7. And that's Whoopi at the inside of Sam as well. Sam looked like he might have got a better exit there. Did, so he does defend that one against Whoopi. So, just looking if we've got any other battles going on. Carton King is working his way into the 1 second of Volungus at the moment. P3, but Volungus, of course, is the only one penalty free at the moment. Oh, Whoopi. Well, we sort of say in chat that he doesn't like this. It's not a good track for him. But so what I would do is lap 31 and 32. We'll take it. Oh, and Sam's round. That corner just gets so many people, doesn't it? The problem is that the inside curb's slippery as anything, but so's the outside curb. But the way the corner is and the high speed you got to take the corner at, the chances are you're going to hit both of them, or it's certainly one of them every time. So look at well, look at Chris penalty free. Potentially going to move up, but Volungus is the one. We'll find out how many penalties the ones ahead have got, but as it stands right now, he definitely move ahead of a Junkie. So Ferrari 1-1-2 here, and quite honestly, they may need to work together, because I think for Junkie to get out of penalty range, assuming he's only got 3 seconds, which we'll find out soon, to get out of penalty range, he may well need a DRS toe from the Gooner. So are they talking to each other? They don't really need a 1-2, I'm not going to lie. They've got a huge lead in the Constructors, so it's not as if they're desperate for a 1-2, but based on recent form, the Gooner as well, is absolutely flying towards a driver title right now. Excuse me. So Carton King has just edged himself within 1 second. So we are on to lap 31, so let's have a look then. Penalties. Yeah, so the top two we got 3 seconds. Just what I thought. Carton King 3, Hunter's 3. Hunter suddenly appeared in P5, by the way. Fair play. Chips P6. Chris P7. That's not what I was doing, was it? I was doing penalties. Sorry, Carton King and Hunter both 3 seconds. Chips is on 6. So as it stands right now, like just losing the 1 place. But Whoopi there with the 12. But actually, right now, I don't think Whoopi will lose any places because of the penalties behind him. So, I mean, obviously he's not going to gain any places either, but he's not going to lose any, so he's still going to pick up good points. Remember with this point system, P8 does pick up good points still, so yeah, 16 points he'd get for P8 will be, so still a good haul. So Carton King clearly has no intention of just sitting behind Volungus here, just because he's got a penalty. You may well see a move now. Volungus may have just got an ever so slightly better exit, but yeah, no. It was this time, but I think it's the same as we saw earlier on with the other 2 drivers. If KK can stay close enough through the rest of the lap, then he should get the chance on the main straight. Stick with them. I was just having a look through the field. Whoopi's caught the back of Chris, but again, because of Whoopi's penalties, it's not actually going to gain her anything. It's well, Volungus as well. Whether it's because of the battle that's created with Carton King here. Oh, and Carton King picks up another 3 seconds. Oh, that does affect him. His teammates within 3 seconds of him. Let's try not to be too much of a hero here, guys. Either of you. Battling's fun. But it is ultimately a pretty pointless battle. With KK having 6 seconds. And they don't care. They're going to keep fighting. See, I'm not going to lie, if I'm Volungus here, I just say, oh yeah, well, you carry on. I'm not interested. You're not going to get 6 seconds up the road in half a lap, so that's just the way I am. But other people don't like that, see, that other people will fight tooth and nail. That was 11 having a spin. So just showing the end. At least you could say he led the race for quite a number of laps. But anyway, onto Daguna we go, who once again brings home victory for Ferrari. Junkie Emperor, P2. That was Jewish Boy's lapped car coming in. KK P3, but relegated below Valungas. So Valungas picks up P3, Hunter P4, KK P5, Chris P6, Chips in 7, Whoopi P8, Sam will take P9, Swigler will indeed take P10 on his debut, I believe, and 11 on his way round will pick up P11. That's kind of written in the stars, wasn't it? 11 takes P11. Lismore will take P12. Rick Jr. and Face Defiance both finish a lap down, but do nonetheless finish and pick up points. So, congratulations to our top three. Gunnar, Junkie Emperor, and Valungas. In these sorts of races, and you guys that watch my streams always know I always pick a driver of the day. Whether the league wants me to or not, I still do it. And these sorts of races is really hard to pick out. Ferraris are dominated. In all fairness, Whoopi looked like the only one really that was able to compete with them. 11 looked like he could, if he'd have made the right strategy call, coming in under the safety car, but this wasn't to be for him. But I have to say, one of the main things that I look at when I'm doing driver of the day is a driver is penalty free, and the fact that Valungas is and finished on the podium. Chris did a grand job as well, but did lose one place from where he started, whereas Valungas gained 3. So I think this week Valungas is going to take my driver of the day. 11 also got fastest lap with a 1:19.513. And there's all the positions for the guys doing the standings. Fair play to Hunter, by the way. He suffered a spin on the first lap, turn 1 spin, and managed to recover that very well. So he'd probably be expecting driver of the day, but he's not getting it. Still giving it to Valungas. Sorry guys, I was chatting too much and I didn't get through all the instants. Got about halfway down. Well, so that is round 12 done for hybrid. Nothing seems to be stopping Ferrari at the moment. Absolutely flying towards a constructor's title. Could be sewn up very early in the season the way they're going. And at the moment, Daguna marching towards a driver's title as well. I must admit, it does seem that he's being helped in that by his teammate, Junkie Emperor, who seems pretty reluctant to take a win off of Daguna at the moment. For me, Junkie had the pace there, and he had the strategy. I'm not entirely sure why he's so reluctant to battle his teammate, but it's the way it is. They're working together, and it's working for them. So fair play to them. But in a way, yeah, congratulations to the top 3. I'll put that in Discord in a way. As far as the stream goes, thanks ever so much for everybody that's watched live. And I saw that one stage the numbers got up really well, so thank you very much to all of you. Thanks also to everybody that watched the stream back. It's really appreciated. For myself, my next stream will be on Tuesday, 6 PM, when I will be commentating on JD's League at 6 PM, and then I'll be live again at 8 PM for WAOF1 as well, which I always say these days, I really strongly suggest giving us a watch for that one, because it's an outstanding league with outstanding racing right now. So, you know, please come along and watch that one. But well, come along and watch all of them, please. That'd be great. Um, but no, guys, thank you very much. I've enjoyed that race tonight, and I hope you did too. Other than that, enjoy the rest of your Sunday evenings, what's left of it, and enjoy your weeks as well. Keep safe, and we'll see you again next week, same time. Good night.